Welcome back to Careful Boys. We're officially off the record, which means it's okay to talk.
We gotta wait for Joe for a little bit.
Hold on, I was doing my lunch order. Joe.
Oh, sorry.
I think we should leave that in.
I think we should.
Yeah, we're off the record.
Leave it in. We're off the fucking record. I'm ordering lunch, dude.
Off the record. That's the beauty of it. So we got.
Technically didn't happen.
Yeah, it didn't happen. We got a profound question that Bart had asked earlier.
All right, what is
I
it?
think it's worth answering.
When did you know you wanted to make out with your orthodontist?
Probably when I was in the 7th grade.
My orthodontist was kind of mean.
Robert
I didn't
Hamilton.
I didn't like him.
Dr. Robert Hamilton. He was a very nice.
That's his name? Yep. Wow, sounds like an author.
He might have been. He might have been.
My orthodontist was a dude.
So did you make out with him?
Yeah.
Nice.
He's the one that got away
So
from
what was Bart's question?
Funny you should ask because you're the one answering. Go ahead.
I'm not answering this question.
My question was, have any of you guys ever hit it and quit it, and why? And the first 5 stories I want it to come from Anthony.
Just to warm us up, you know,
Yeah.
just to get things flowing.
Yes, one night stands.
Can you define hit it and quit it for people who maybe don't understand that?
So maybe like maybe a one night stand, or maybe it was like it happened and it didn't work out, or yeah, just why it didn't continue.
Oh, I thought it was like you came too fast and you went to sleep.
I guess that's another way of.
That would be quitting.
It's a quitter's mentality.
I guess it's fun to like think about it because we all know why you hit it, but why'd you quit it?
Well, you know, Nick.
You know, it's times like this where I'm like, I wish I had a cool story, but
Nick's a virgin, dude.
I really am, dude. I really am.
He's not a quitter, that's why.
You never quit it once.
Yeah, and have the heart to at least.
I remember when I was a young boy,
Make us look way worse.
2 years ago, as a young man, I realized that a lot of the times I will tell myself how madly in love I was with someone, not knowing that that was pure lustful infatuation. And after I nut, that moment, you go, you've been lying to yourself, you son of a bitch.
Post nut clarity.
Yep.
We do lie to ourselves a lot.
Have you ever had that where you just
Absolutely.
Of course.
Or how about post-nut guilt? You're just like, why did I do that right
You've
now?
had that 5 times?
You're like, why am I watching hentai on 3 screens? What do I need on 3 screens for, huh? You're weird. You're weird. You were being weird.
Because it was sick.
Imagine the setup.
Steve, you know my setup? I only have 2
I
screens.
do know you only have 2
Like
screens.
this the whole time. You're
Is it with
shifting
headphones
screens.
too then?
No, you go
gotta
2
be stuck
screens
in.
and then you go on the phone too.
And then you also have VR. The
phone
you
is
have
recording
VR,
yourself.
and then you like pop it off to see what else is going on.
Have you guys ever done VR porn though?
Have you ever done what?
VR?
I've never
I
done it.
should.
I've never done that.
I'm not gonna lie. I tried it one time and it is sweet.
Is it actually?
Yeah.
Did you do one of these?
No.
How about the grandmas that's doing this? Is that real?
Also, no.
What are they touching,
The grandmas are doing when they have the VR glasses and then they record their grandmas
the game.
and then they're
What
going
are
like
they
this.
washing dishes? What are they
This is definitely making us look worse. Let's go back to the hit it and quit it.
No, so what is it? Because it's the whole point. The whole point is you're in the room, right?
Yeah. So you're in the room, and then if you like look down, for example, there's just another dude's body there. So then it's a kind of like a role play where like the person who's filming in VR camera.
Yeah, what ethnicity
they're
do you
like,
pick?
Whatever you want.
Whatever they're filmed as.
Yeah, there's only so many options. It's the future, you know. It's like early adoption.
Yeah.
So you look down and
You see
it's
your dick.
another dude?
It's a white dude.
It's definitely not your dude.
Or a black dude.
Because it's in the video. And then they'll come over and then do their whole thing as if it's you.
Can you fast forward?
But here's the thing.
I like to fast forward in porn.
Yes, you can. Here's the thing. There's this concept about like virtual reality, the reality component, right? Just like if you were playing a car game or whatever, there is a feeling that you get almost as if you're in the real space. So when you apply that same kind of mental tricking, it's almost like a biohack, and you're like assuming the placement and the positioning, and it actually is a totally different experience.
So it really feels like there's a real guy just riding the shit out of you.
Yeah, my favorite kind. Guy porn is the most HD for some reason. I feel like they use 360 for everybody else.
So you say, would you say it's like, so between jacking off and real sex, is it in that spectrum or it's on another?
No, it's not in that spectrum, but it's between jacking off to porn it's in a different spectrum. It's like a branch from that.
Dude, because on the VR stuff, when you play some of those games, like there's a zombie game that I played, it's like shooting one, and they're like coming at you, you really feel like you're gonna die.
Yeah, there's
Really
like a
fucks with
feeling.
you.
It's
Yeah.
a biohack.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
imagine that in porn.
Yeah. I
But
would
when you're
imagine
playing
it'll
the
translate.
zombie game, right? You're not trying to replace real life, so you don't go, "What am I doing with my life?" With that, aren't you like, you take it off? Aren't you like, why did I fucking bust
No,
off?
no. That one, less guilt. Less guilt.
These and ones are discontinued too.
But I feel like that's a sentiment after.
I don't play basketball in these almost ever. I usually just jerk off in them.
These are my jerk off basketball shorts.
yeah, these are my jerkers.
I love when they're mesh.
Don't you take it off and feel like guilty or something? Like, I got more pretty
I should have played more basketball.
because of increased sensation.
We should go back to the hit and quit it with real people.
I had
No,
more
we
guilt
moved on.
fucking a flashlight than women.
Isn't that normal?
That's normal though.
That's normal.
That's normal.
That's the name of the video.
Would you like it if a woman held a fleshlight between her legs for you?
No, I never had that.
Actually.
I had an ex-girlfriend fuck me with the flashlight. And that was very guilty because I felt like I was cheating in front of her.
But she was administering
She was
it.
doing it.
I feel like there
an
should be way
accessory.
less guilt to that. Yeah.
She was doing the heavy lifting. And
If anything, she was sparing herself a little bit so that she could just get it done like that.
I had to throw away the flashlight.
Oh.
But I think
You hit it
now
and quit it.
I'm a more. That's my hit and quit it story.
It's a flashlight.
Yo, sometimes you gotta throw away your flashlight, dude.
I threw it away.
Sometimes you gotta say, you know what?
Nick's like, I wish I had a cool story. Joe's like, I hit it and quit it with a fleshlight.
And I'm like, yeah, I second that, dude.
You think the flashlight's like, finally I have a home.
Sometimes you gotta take the batteries out your Dark Knight, you know?
It's like a fucking dog at a shelter.
It's like a Toy Story. Hey, dude, if Toy Story went there for the next one,
Oh yeah, sex toy story.
Yo,
He's not here to use me anymore, man. He's got a girlfriend.
sex toy stories hilarious. You think Pixar's down for that?
I don't think they
Hell
are.
yeah.
Something tells me they don't. But they would make it really good and you'd cry afterwards. You'd watch it for sure.
What about you sex haver? What about your hit and quit
No
stories?
way.
Look at you, you're like a walking sex god, dude.
No way.
Everything about you is fuckable.
No.
That's true.
Whoa.
See?
No.
And I love it when you're like, well, when I was on tour.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you why times where I have quit it. What was the motivation behind that?
Because they died.
Because they're no longer alive.
Because they got into an accident. Yeah. She was on her way on her Vespa to come fuck me. And a big rig came and smashed her into pieces.
And we'll bring her on the next episode.
Just so you know, any story where someone lived is kind of boring, so I don't really tell those. But every girl that I quit it on has lived to tell the story, and yeah, it's not that cool.
Why did you quit it?
So it's like what Joe said, where you get caught up in the lust and you really
Post nut clarity.
yeah, you kind of tell yourself that, but also I think for a long time the motivation to I guess to get laid is really just to attain that kind of closeness with someone because you just feel fucking lonely. And it's like you immediately don't feel lonely after you've done it. So it's kind of like, hey, I think I'm good to go for like getting your tank filled up. It's like, hey, I can run lonely for a
You
little
mean
bit
getting
now.
your tank depleted?
Yeah, that too. So it's kind of a thing where it's a selfish fucking thing, and I think it's really sad to do that. But yeah, a lot of the time.
To be fair, more than guys think, women also sometimes want that.
Not the ones that I did it with.
They wanted you.
Hell yeah.
It's different.
I think
They wanted you for a longer time. Their tank wasn't filled, Ryan.
Yeah. You didn't fill their tank, dude.
they were Priuses. They don't need that much.
just sometimes that feeling of loneliness is not like a one-sided thing. You know what I'm saying?
Some
Like,
chicks
they
want to hit
too.
it and quit it too, yeah.
Yeah, or even some chicks think they don't want to hit it and quit it, but maybe after hitting it, they also want to quit it. You know
I
what
think
I'm saying?
that's why
So-
it's really important to find out what their motivations are, or to be really, really upfront with what yours are.
That's true, because when you got Christian guilt, you just get married.
But the problem is a lot of guys don't do that because some guys get so like they get so it sucks to say, but you get so good at getting girls that you realize what it is they want to hear, and it's not necessarily what you actually want to say.
Yeah,
But you just see the counteraction. In
The Shakespeare just comes out.
Well, yeah, you just
You're a
you just
player,
see
player,
the
dude.
Like, of course you're bullshitting, but you're also just like matching the game of like.
If
okay,
I was the chick he's dating, he was like, I don't know what to say because sometimes I could see the way that you might want to hear it, and that's like, I'll be wanting his dick so hard already. Like, you know how to articulate?
She already got fucking scissors and fucking already cut the crossbar.
Today's video is brought to you by Feels. CBD is not about what you feel, it's about what you do not feel, such as pain, stress, anxiety, and all the icky feelings in the world.
Yeah, these days been pretty crazy. As you know, my dad is also moving to Vegas. So my dad, he don't speak the English very good.
Oh, really?
So yeah, I gotta help him sell the house, help him buy a house, and just all of that while still managing, you know, all the other stuff we got going on. JK,
that's a lot.
Brigade. It's just a lot. So some nights it has been hard to make me go to sleep because I've been pounding the caffeines to stay 100%. But I like Feels because it helps calm me down. Because the ironic thing is you can be amped to get the job done. But if you don't get your good sleep, the next day you're not operating very well.
It sounds like you and your dad might need some Feels.
We might need to do some together.
Yeah, but it's pretty easy. The process is, what I do is I get a couple of the oils, put it on the tip of my tongue. I go, okay, it's gonna kick in soon. And I get to relax, chill out, and I have my unwinding method. And the cool thing about it is there's no hangovers. There's none of that addiction, okay? It's just an easy way to chill out. And if you're intimidated, you don't know what to do, cool. They got a hotline. You can call them up. You could talk to a person who can walk you through the process. They know what they're doing because they're experts in this stuff. And they can just be like, hey, this is what you need, okay? Try out these many drops, this and that. And then you can kind of have somebody holding your hand through the process.
Yeah, and if like stress or anxiety, sleeplessness, or even pain are some of the things that you're dealing with, check them out. It could really help those things. So if you think Feels can help you out, become a member today by going to feels.com/offtherecord to get 50% off your first order plus free shipping. That's a super good deal. That's feals.com/OFFTHERECORD. Feels.com/offtherecord to get 50% off your first order plus free shipping.
Well, that's one thing I have learned
That's
is
the
that
intro. Don't pull your pants down.
I have learned that even though there's a lot of girls that do, you know, they want to hit and quit it deep down, they don't want you to know it sometimes.
For sure.
They actually want
They got Christian guilt too?
Yeah,
Everybody got Christian guilt.
Everybody.
Bart got Buddha guilt.
they don't all want you to make them feel like, you know, they're just for the night, you know, even if that's something that's okay with them, they would rather prefer, you know, the feeling of like, oh, we've become closer, we've built something that's a new foundation type.
Not British girls.
Yeah, well, not on holiday. Not at Blackpool.
There was this one chick in high school where, you know, when you're in high school, it's like now I think in retrospect you can articulate all those feelings and emotions, right? Like, so you know what the hell's going on. But in high school, it's just, you don't even know what the fuck's happening.
Yeah.
And I remember there was this chick I was supposed to do this dance with, and she was just supposed to come over to, like, we're supposed to pick like outfits or whatever, right?
I love high school.
And I just thought she was like, I think we just thought it was supposed to be fun, and we weren't supposed to like each other or any of that stuff. And then fucking we VCR'd and chilled, and then all of a sudden I remember she grabbed my hand and put her in her pants, and then so I'm fucking playing the fucking buttons.
Bart's starting his DJ career.
I remember starting the DJ career, and I think with that whole guilt thing, you know, like afterwards, we were like,
You cried.
no, afterwards, like,
You're crying during?
What are we? Whatever. You know, it's just like you're trying to figure it out because you know what the fuck's going on, and are we still going to this dance thing? And then we're like, yeah. And then I remember at the dance, she was like treating me as if like I was her boyfriend, but then I didn't want to be, and it was just, I don't know, it just felt like it was just weird, and we didn't go all the way or anything, but it was just crazy to like it felt like it was, you know, when I think as an adult, because you know what you want more, every phase of what you do, you're like, oh, that's cool, like that's what we wanted. We wanted to just hold hands, or we wanted to just make out, or we wanted to just fuck, or we wanted to hit and quit it. We both want that, but in high school, it's like everyone has their own guilt, and it's like, so if we did that stuff, are we supposed to be together for a year? You know, she's
Are we married now? What's happening?
Sure.
But that's what high school's for, right? It's like
Exactly.
it's like a kid who's fucking sticking his finger in the outlet, but it's like you have to learn, either get smacked by your parents or getting shot.
or they put your finger in their outlet.
Do you remember in high school when people are like, man, it's like those two have been together forever, and it's like they've been together for like 4 months.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But that's how it feels. It's
Yeah.
like, man, those two are like an item. They're getting married. They're gonna have kids. It's like they've been together for 4 weeks.
They're gonna be in the high school yearbook, like
They lasted a semester.
Yeah, it's the best, dude. I fucking love it.
most likely to get married. So your standouts, all the pressure.
It's a different thing.
What
But
about
I remember I was doing an improv show, and I fucking killed it. And then this chick afterward definitely was like interested in me and stuff, and I could already tell, right? And so I was like, okay, cool. So I went out to eat with her and her friends, and then afterwards we went back to her place and like we fucked. And I had never done anything like that before, where it's like I just rock the show, meet a chick, go fuck on it, but then I was so guilty about it afterwards.
Why?
Because I was like, well, if I have sex with somebody, like there should be something deeper going on.
Yeah.
And so I tried to like force a relationship out of it.
Oh yeah, to justify.
To justify it, but then ultimately it just wasn't something that I wanted, and I tried to convince myself that I did, but then
How did you break it off?
Did you have Catholic guilt?
I had Catholic guilt.
You did a shitty show the next night.
I did a bad show.
He bombed.
And you made her break it up with you?
She's sitting front row. He's like, yo, this fan I smashed last night, right?
Well, I lived in LA at the time, and so I remember having to go. Like she was in San Diego, and so it was kind of easy because like I couldn't see her much. Yeah, so then I went and I saw her like 3 weeks after that to try to like force this thing. But we were talking on the phone and texting and shit. But then I remember after seeing her that second time, I was like, okay, I'm not into this. And then I called her like when I got back to LA.
So you actually told her I'm not into this, and you cut it off.
Yeah.
That's the part that's missing a lot of the time.
Yeah, that's hard to say though, huh?
Yeah, it was weird.
That's missing a lot of the
But
time.
ghosting is so much easier, right? You're
Yeah,
just like,
it
oh,
is.
delete. Oh, I didn't see your message.
Well,
Bye.
it's easier to just take the L and be like, yeah, she's gonna fucking hate me. So like that's easier to do, and I think most guys just
Than to confront.
most guys just do that. They're like, I don't care.
Have you guys ever played with fire and just flirted and turned somebody on so hard and then realized that they're way more down than you are?
Yeah, you can do it for your ego.
Especially because when you're a virgin, right? Like you don't know. Like I always had the idea that girls were not as sexually aggressive as guys.
Oh, yeah.
So then we're just gonna fucking like flirt, test the waters, probe here and there, and then one time this girl was like, she was like, oh, well, she's gonna come over. We were watching fucking. It wasn't Netflix at the time. It was Blockbuster.
VCR, yeah.
VCR time, right? We would watch it, and it just became this thing. And then, like, sometimes we cuddle or whatever. And one day she came to school, and she's all like, I'm not wearing any underwear. And I was like, what? Not knowing what that means, right? And then that day, same thing, came over, whatever.
Forgetful.
First time, I saw some pussy, whatever.
Whoopsie whoops.
And then I was a virgin, so I allowed her to give me a hand job, and I came and I went to sleep.
You allowed her.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Then you did nothing wrong.
Yeah.
No, but at the time, I'm like looking back, I'm like, I think I was supposed to have sex there, cause she told me she didn't have any underwear on, so I got to see her pussy. I didn't do anything
Was
with
she
it.
a virgin?
I don't think so.
Did you throw her in the trash after?
Did you try to force a relationship out of it because of the intimacy?
We were talking in general, and I think in my head, that was the progression. Is like you cuddle, you date, and then you have like intimate times, and then you get with someone, right?
Yeah.
But then like, I don't know. You're in high school and shit. Like, yeah, like I didn't know hit it and quit it. I didn't know I knew friend to fuck.
Maybe
Everyone
high
had friend to
school,
fuck.
maybe for the concept of hit and quit,
Friend
high
to
school
fuck.
kind of doesn't count as much because there's so much like discovery zone.
Sure, yeah.
Versus
Versus Chuck E. Cheese.
Actually knowing, yeah, that's very good actually. Actually knowing what hit and quit it is, or like the intention, or like the like for example, there's something different from, or at least in terms of the guilt realm, when it's like let's say like a one night stand, like a fan moment. You didn't really build any relationship with anybody. You met them at the club. You were having a good time. Everybody was in a vibe. You're drunk or whatever, and then the next morning you're like, whoa. Nice to meet you, or whatever, you know what I mean? And then you're like, peace out. There's kind of like less guilt because everybody's kind of in it together. But then there's also like you are trying it out and you're seeing, and maybe do I have feelings? I don't know. And then you end up having sex and you're like, actually, maybe I was chasing the lust. Maybe I was chasing the chase. I don't know. It's not to say
I think after
Maybe I was just
high
trying to have a fan
school,
interaction.
maybe.
after high school though, I got pretty upfront, like because I didn't like those feelings. So I'm like, I just be like, yeah, like, this is for fun. I don't know where it's gonna go. And then I made that apparent, like from college and on. Like I had to make it clear, because also like the whole situation that Ryan pulled up about like how you get good at like saying
like a
things. I saw myself doing that, and I didn't want to go that way because there was a pride where I was like, I'd rather fuck a girl that's way uglier, but she wants me, than a girl that's hot as fuck and I manipulate.
I like the
her.
conviction in saying that.
You know? Like there's a difference in it. It's like I just want someone that authentically wants to suck the living life out of me because I was just straight up and honest.
You just like me because I got game.
Yeah.
Not that you really like me.
I wasn't even honest.
But low key, I respect that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get that. You know what it is too, is like to be fair, sometimes being upfront and saying like, hey, like I'm not in it for a relationship. I just, I want to have fun. Sometimes that fucking makes girls fall in love.
Yeah.
Sometimes that is such a, not only a breath of fresh air, but it's also like a project to some girls. And they're like,
I'll turn you.
I'm gonna be the one that's different.
And then you fall in love and then they drop you.
Yeah, that shit happens too. So it's kind of like, it depends.
Yeah, then they game you, they win, you fall in love, and then they ditch.
Yeah.
They quit you, huh?
I had a girl come to my house one time, and she came there because I had broken up with this other girl, and this other girl had told her about like something about how we were fucking or whatever, and then the girl came over just to try me out because of this girl. That was one of the coolest things that ever happened to me.
Because you got that
Did you give her a sample?
Oh yeah, dude. Took her to the candy shop.
the old mozzarella stick.
Candy shop.